It was day 3 of our Panamint adventure, and all but 2 of the rigs had to head home. I had heard campfire stories of a remote and rarely visited mining operation in Jail Canyon, but had never met anyone who had actually been there. The road is a tough one that not all rigs can handle, and I've had to pass it up more than once because I knew it shouldn't be attempted alone. I met Nick out here on a previous trip exploring the wilderness in his classic Defender and spending time with his kid as co-pilot, and we've been coordinating trips ever since. When I asked him if he wanted to put his Defender to the test and see if this mine really existed, I could see he was just as excited as I was, so we hit the trail. In 1899, gold was discovered in this canyon, and various mining operations came and went over the next 80 years. In addition to their mining equipment, the miners left behind an intact cabin with running water from the creek. That is, if you can figure out how to work the pipes. Right. Wow, look at this place, guys. Mattresses, a table. Yeah, on a cold day, this would be great. Who thinks there's water that comes out of this sink? Me. Sorry, guys. No running water. Yeah, that's the hot water heater.
Got some. I found the water.
And then how does water get into this thing?
Close that valve, which I think is a low point drain.
Okay.
Assuming that this black line
Look at this water.
is what feeds the house.
Let's see if it's trickling or pouring. That's a pretty good pour. After setting up camp and getting the water working, the shadows were growing long, so we headed out to find the remains of the old Corona mine before dark. As the dads looked for the trail, the boys had more important things on their minds.
And did you know birds who rarely walk?
We're gonna see, there's burro poop all over this trail, guys.
Some animals eat no poop. Yeah, like flies.
Hey Dominic, what do you think that is?
Outhouse. It actually looks fine. See?
I think we can use this.
Oh, I think that's
It would if we
definitely-
went in.
definitely good.
The first structure we encountered was a dumping station complete with mine cart tracks and an area to park the empty carts. Further up the tracks is the 4-stamp mill of the Corona mine, powered over the years by a big engine with an impressive flywheel. 2 ways to go. So up here, guys, do you see how there's these crushing things?
Yeah.
So the rocks would come into here. That big motor ran a belt system that came over to here. So the belts went up there, right? And then came over here and dropped down.
Those are called stamps.
And it goes crush, crush. We took our time carefully climbing through the elaborate milling operation, using our limited knowledge of these mines to try and understand how it all worked and explain it to the kids. But they seemed more interested in exploring their new playground. Oh, this could be the pump house.
Could have been. Well, you can't mine without water. See down there?
Yeah.
So there is a cable going down there like it was hooked to something at some point.
Yeah.
And you can see the water at the bottom.
I'm gonna drop this What's island?
The main entrance to the mine is closed, so we took our time inspecting the leftover equipment, a couple test holes, and the outlying buildings that are still standing.
The whole red light.
Awesome, guys. Having satisfied our curiosity, we headed back to camp for some activities and dinner. Our activities consisted of archery, throwing rocks, and also one of the boys' favorites, hidden clues around the campsite to be solved as a scavenger hunt to find a treat. So your first clue is on the table, guys. You see it says something in rock? What does it say?
What?
What? And then the rest of the clue is going to be right here.
What is still on the... Oh, it's a spare tile. Let's look at this one. What's up? Oh, yeah.
Keep looking.
Look at the trash.
It's not in the trap.
I found it. The fastest way to go on to 2 wheels is the bike. Found it! I was guessing. It says the next is where you stay warm. Let's look in the campfire. I see the clip.
In the end, the boys found their treats. And if you're looking for a fun camp activity with your kids, the scavenger hunt is a hit. On tonight's menu, we had the staples of mac and cheese for the kids and steak for the dads. It's out of here.
Right here.
Still on foot.
How about foot on shoe?
No.
Shoe
Have
on
you had
foot?
this yet? Have you had it yet?
Just the skirt steak. I haven't tried the fillet yet.
Oh, the filet's good, man.
Oh.
What?
That worked.
Are you ready to No, I'm asking you.
How cool is this? This has been a neat couple of days. We have lucked out every night. You know, we stayed where we wanted to. The first night, we were able to find the waterfalls and check them out. And we were then able to find a mining site that we could stay in and had some structures. The kids all played around. And then coming up this wash and finding yet another one. That's so cool. It adds so much to the trip. And then the hiking around that mine yesterday. I've never seen a structure so intact, so that was pretty cool. You know, anybody who comes out here, thank you for doing such a good job picking up your trash, because that's what it's all about, right? We're out here, we're not just seeing stuff, we're taking care of it because it's ours. This land isn't just ours, it belongs to our children, and taking care of it now is the one thing I know I can do to ensure we'll be here for them in the future. What a beautiful view. I love Panamint Valley. Love seeing clouds moving over it. Sometimes just all completely blue and hot. And this has brought in a cooler change. It was 95 a couple days ago. Now it's, well, got my jacket on, so it's got to be a little bit cold. From here, this is day 4. I think it's time for us to head home because somebody's got to go to school eventually and somebody else has to work eventually. So we're going to head on out of here and maybe catch some rain on the way. If so, I'm kind of excited. Change it up a little bit. So time to get on the road. As we drove out of Jail Canyon, I reflected on the last 4 days and all the interesting things we had seen. Perhaps more important than the places, I thought about how fortunate I am to have friends that like to get out here with me. I often say that if you show me a rig with a rooftop tent, I can show you a driver that I like and trust to be a good person. So far, I've never been wrong. And hey, if you see us out here on the road or at the gas station, do me a favor and say hello. We'll both be glad you did. Until then, stay safe and we'll see you on the next adventure.